You've wanted this for a long time. You know exactly what you need to do, and yet you don't do it. And the worst part? You can't explain why. You're not lazy. You care deeply, maybe too deeply. You've read the books, watched the videos, made the plans, written the goals down on paper with real intention behind them, and still something stops you. Every single time. You get close, and then you pull back. You start, and then you stall. You feel motivated for 3 days, and then you wake up on day 4 and the fire is just gone. And quietly, in the back of your mind, a fear has started to grow. Maybe I'm just not built for this. I want to stop you right there. Because that thought, that specific thought, is not the truth. It's a symptom. And today, we're going to trace it all the way back to its source. I'm not going to pretend I cracked some secret code. But after studying behavioral psychology and the neuroscience of self-sabotage, and after watching this pattern destroy my own momentum more times than I'd like to admit, I found something that finally made sense. Your brain is not on your side. Not because it's broken, but because it's doing its job too well just for the wrong version of you. Your brain has one primal job: keep you alive. Not happy, not successful, alive. And to do that job efficiently, it builds something called an identity system, a deeply embedded map of who you are, what you're capable of, and what's safe for you to pursue. This map was built from your earliest experiences. Criticism you received as a child, times you tried and failed publicly. Moments you were told directly or indirectly to stay small, stay quiet, stay realistic. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Every time you try to grow beyond that map, every time you attempt something bigger, something bolder, your brain doesn't celebrate. It sends an alarm. Because to your brain, the unknown version of you is a threat. Even if that version is better, happier, more alive. Psychologists call this self-concept preservation. You will unconsciously sabotage anything that conflicts with who you believe yourself to be. Think about that for a moment. It means your procrastination isn't weakness, it's protection. Your avoidance isn't failure. It's your brain trying to keep you safe from a future it doesn't recognize as you. You're not fighting laziness. You're fighting your own nervous system. So let's flip this completely. What if every time you've self-sabotaged, it wasn't proof that you couldn't do it, but proof that part of you knows you're capable of more than your current identity allows? You don't sabotage things you don't care about. You sabotage the things that matter most. The goals that would actually change your life. Because those are the goals that require you to become someone new. And becoming someone new is the most threatening thing a human brain can imagine. This isn't a flaw. This is the mechanism. And once you understand the mechanism, you can begin to work with it instead of against it. I want you to picture 2 versions of yourself. The first is your current self, the identity your brain has built and protected for years. The second is your future self, the person your goals require you to become. Between them is a space. I call it the identity gap. Everything you've labeled as self-sabotage lives in that gap. The resistance, the procrastination, the sudden loss of motivation. None of it is random. All of it is your brain trying to pull you back from the edge of that gap, back to familiar ground. So the real work isn't motivation. It's identity bridging gradually, consistently proving to your brain that the future version of you is safe. Not with one giant leap, but with small, repeated actions that say, this is who I am now. 3 steps to start bridging the gap. Step 1, name the identity you're becoming. Not the goal, the person. Not, I want to make more money, but I am someone who creates value and is compensated for it. Your brain needs a new map, not just a new destination. Step 2, take the smallest possible action daily. Not to build momentum, to build evidence. Evidence that the new identity is real, is safe, is you. Step 3, stop explaining yourself to your old self. Every time you justify skipping, delaying, or shrinking, you're voting for the old map. You don't negotiate with the identity you're leaving behind. Some of you are thinking, this sounds too simple. My situation is more complicated. Maybe. But complicated problems almost always have a simple core. And the core here is this. You keep trying to change your actions without changing your identity. That's why nothing sticks. You're redecorating a house built on the wrong foundation. And some of you are wondering, what if the future self I want isn't realistic? That's worth sitting with, honestly. But ask yourself, is that a genuine evaluation? Or is that your brain protecting the current map? There's a difference between wisdom and fear. And most of the time, when we call something unrealistic, we mean unfamiliar. You don't need to overhaul your life today. You just need to ask one question before you go to sleep tonight. What would the person I'm becoming do that I didn't do today? Write it down, even one word, because awareness is the first crack in the old map. If something in this video landed for you, drop it in the comments. What's the identity you're stepping into? Say it out loud. That small act is already a vote for the new version of you. Your brain isn't your enemy. It's a very loyal, very cautious guardian protecting a version of you that no longer needs protecting. You've already outgrown the map. That's why it feels so tight. That's why moving forward feels like fighting. But you're not stuck. You're just standing at the edge of the gap, and now, for the first time, you know what it is. That changes everything. Take one step, then another. I'll be here for the ones that follow.